Today I had one of those moments where I had this memory in my head that just came out of nowhere. It's something that I'd completely forgotten about, but it was a big deal at the time. HQ Trivia. Do you remember? It was a game, an app game. You may or may not remember it, but for those of you who played it, you definitely remember it. It was by Intermediate Labs. It came out in 2017, and it was
a trivia game show on your phone where you answer tough questions to win real money.
Live trivia that was broadcasted from a studio in New York, and you and millions of other live players would sit down and answer trivia questions for a money jackpot.
Let me tell you how the game works. I'm gonna ask 12 questions ranging from easy to hard. You have 10 seconds for when I start reading the question to tap your answer. Get it right, you move on to the next round. Make it to the end, you're gonna win or split the cash. And today, right now, we're playing for some money. We're playing for $250.
The jackpots ranged anywhere from like $250 to $1,500, but I personally remember the game being really difficult. I think the majority of the people who played got out in the first couple of rounds. It was developed by two of the guys who created Vine, and it exploded. Like I said, it came out in 2017, and by 2018, they had their biggest day ever, where they had 2.38 million concurrent viewers playing all at the same time. There was so much talk about how it was going to revolutionize games, how every game was going to be played like this, how every TV show was going to be watched like this. It was going to completely change the industry. It was new technology. There was so much investment money and so much buzz around HQ Trivia. But what happened to it? If you were like me, you got pretty disinterested in it because A, it was just really hard, and B, you realize the payouts weren't really all that cool.
That's right, $250. You can finally buy that Hess truck. $31.25 each you're taking home.
See, so here was the problem. They would promise you $250 as the jackpot, but you would be splitting that with the other winners.
Make it to the end, you're gonna win or split the cash.
So even if you got through all of the questions, you might be splitting it with sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. So in this case, the winners got
$31.25,
which isn't bad. I mean, that's still good money. But as the player and participations went up, the pots didn't necessarily go up with it. So the amount of winners was growing, and so the people that you were splitting that jackpot money with soon became to a point where you were winning $1 or sometimes even less. There was a very famous game where the final jackpot was $5 and everybody participating won about 1 cent. But here was really the cherry on top, was that the app, very famously, many other apps do this little tricky thing, had a minimum payout of $20. So even if you won $5, $6, $7, $8 in a game, you would never actually see that money. And that became pretty controversial for the app. They also had some other payouts, like I think it was a Nike pair of shoes or $200,000 or something that the app just never paid out. And part of that was because kind of behind the scenes, it was failing. A lot of the buzz died off, a lot of the participation died off, controversies were building. The founders of the app, one of the founders got himself into some hot water and had to step away. And so by February of 2020, there was a memo sent out to the company saying they would immediately be ceasing operation and they would be moving into dissolution. They did get a large amount of funding after that and continued doing daily games. The very last game happened in November of 2022, and there was never an official announcement of shutting down. They just stopped doing live broadcasts. At some point, they went from daily games at 9 p.m. to weekly games. I'm not very clear as to when that happened, but the app is no more, and it was just another flash in the pan. I think its success really lasted from 2017 to 2020, and it went from being such a huge buzzed game to something that I completely forgot about until today. So much like a lot of tech, it was a fantastic bubble. Let me know in the comments if you remember or ever did play HQ.